One question now dictates the trajectory of the entire technology sector. When exactly will artificial general intelligence arrive? We have grown reliant on the clockwork of consumer tech, the annual smartphone refresh, the quarterly software patch, and the predictable march of hardware upgrades. AGI exists outside of this retail cycle. It represents a transition from computers that follow human instructions to systems that generate their own reasoning. This makes its arrival impossible to pin to a standard product roadmap. This is why the expert consensus remains abhi pakka nahi, not sure yet. Standard forecasting models fail because they were designed for linear growth, not for the sudden spikes seen in machine learning. While we cannot name a specific Tuesday in the future, we can see the mathematical horizon. There is a window of 10 to 30 years where current research and computing power are expected to converge. To understand the 10-year estimate, we must look at a world of unchecked momentum, where every breakthrough triggers the next at high speed. Current AI models aren't improving linearly. Their capability arcs upward exponentially. This acceleration is driven by a feedback loop, where existing models optimize the hardware for their replacements. The 10-year timeline assumes scaling this approach is the only requirement for achieving general intelligence. If this scaling hypothesis holds true, the pressure on global infrastructure will be immense. Labor markets and energy grids would have only 1 decade to prepare for the arrival of autonomous white-collar and technical labor. But this sprint relies on a frictionless environment. It assumes we won't hit the physical or economic walls that usually slow down high-speed industrial growth. This brings us to the 20-year gap in our prediction. We have to consider what specific friction could delay the arrival of machine reasoning by 2 full decades. First, physical cost. This chart shows AI energy demands outstripping global power grid capacity. Second, the data limit. We are exhausting human-written text, which could flatten progress long before AGI. The 30-year estimate assumes these bottlenecks stall current methods, forcing entirely new logical paradigms. This would require a generational effort, years spent redesigning the hardware and the mathematical foundations of how machines learn from the ground up. In this view, the path to AGI is not a sprint, but a grueling marathon of engineering that requires us to solve the physical constraints of power and data. When we step back from the charts, the question of when becomes less important than the reality of what this window means for us. Whether the arrival is 10 years away or 30, both estimates sit well within the career span of the people working today. Fixating on the exact year can become a distraction. The data suggests that we are moving toward a period where machine capability will challenge our traditional roles in the economy. Waiting for a specific date is a